Hello everyone, welcome back. I decided to do a quick episode that we're going to upload right now for Resources 101. So I feel it's important that you stock your kitchen with shelf-stable and other products that might be semi-shelf-stable and keep track of them. Obviously, like nuts and stuff, some of them you keep in the freezer or the refrigerator, some of them you keep on the shelf, depends on how quick you're using them. But I highly recommend that you go down to Costco or Trader Joe's or your local stores that you prefer to utilize. A lot of things I'm going to show you right now are from Costco because they are the kings of getting in bulk and high grade foods. A lot of them organic or at least GMO free. So I'm going to suggest a few things that you should stock on your shelves, and then when I'm cooking and you're watching my show, you can just grab those same items off the shelves and you can mimic what I'm doing. So one of my favorite things to do, which we're going to do today at the show at 420, is we're going to make ramen. There's a lot of ramen noodles you can buy. I get these from Costco, and they are millet and brown rice, so they're a little bit healthier than some of the ones you see in the store. And then I just take a couple of them, you only boil them for like 5 minutes, and then pour some cold water over them, and there you go. You've got your ramen noodles, and you can add them to anything. You could feed them to the kids that way. If you like, put a little oil and salt and pepper on it, whatever. Then we haven't got into it yet, but I really like these are actually split peas. These are both from India, and I don't even know how to say them, but these are made from they're both a type of lentil actually, and they're very nutrient rich, easy to use, and they don't have to make Indian food to utilize these. So I just picked those up not too long ago at Costco. We went over the breakfast items. Always keep some oats on the shelf. I look for sprouted. Anything sprouted is going to be higher in nutrient contents, and it's going to, if you get it from Costco, maybe this is not organic, but it's got all the GMO free and all that kind of stuff going on. So we know it's a little bit better than the Quaker oats. Quinoa is an important one to keep in stock. You can get this anywhere. Again, you get a big bag like this for like $7, $8, I think, at Costco. It's really inexpensive. This cooks up really fast, like within minutes. And if you use my nutrient-rich base, you cook some quinoa, that's all you need. You can throw some sauteed vegetables on it, you've got dinner. You also need to stock chia seeds. We made chia seed pudding last week, but there's a lot of things you can do with these. These are really high in iron and nutrients, great for the kids and smoothies and all different things you can use. You always use this as egg substitute too if you're trying to cut back on your egg usage. So that's a good one to have. Then the rest of these are like just things I like to keep around, like matcha. I mean, you don't want to give that to the kids because it's caffeine oriented, but it's always nice to have on the shelf. Cocoa powder or a nice cacao, raw cacao is always good to have. Very healthy and nutrient rich. It's chocolate is good for you. It's just the sugar that they put in that destroys it. So if you're buying raw cacao, it's good to have in the kitchen. I've got some figs here. We've got some apricots. These are no sugar added dried fruits. These cran raisins, I don't use a lot of them because they add a lot of sugar to these. They're hard to get without sugar, but you can get dried dates are really nice. And then there's two types of mangoes. There's ones with sugar and there's ones without. So try to get the ones without. They're really sweet and delicious even without sugar. You can cut these dried fruits up. You can put them in the night oats and have oats ready for the morning. So that's why we use a lot of dried fruits. Then there's goji berries. These are really hard and difficult to eat, but they moisten up and they're really nutrient rich. These are excellent. So I get these at Costco, but you can buy them anywhere. They're a bit expensive if you don't buy them at Costco, but a big bag like this will last you a long time. Keep those in stock. Then you've got to have hemp seeds. I have 3 bags on the shelf over here. I plowed through these things. You cannot use too much. You put them in all your smoothies, you put them in all the foods. They don't have a strong flavor, so the kids aren't going to buck about them, and you're boosting their protein. I like to keep pumpkin seeds around, and pine nuts. Really good for keeping the coronavirus away and nutrients up. Pine nuts are expensive. This is like a $26, $28 bag, but it's a pound and a half, and you don't need a lot of these. So you use a little bit here, a little bit there, and it'll last you a month. I also have these. You know, you can spend a lot of money, you can get some roasted with salt. These probably aren't that good for you because they've been roasted with salt. Try to stick with raw nuts. These Brazil nuts are raw, unsalted nuts. This big bag was $7 at Costco. That's a pound and a half of nutrients for $7. You cannot beat that. So just look around, go with what you can afford to go with, but remember that even these expensive nuts, they go a long way. Now I've got walnuts and pecans in the freezer. They turn rancid very quickly. You want to keep them in the fridge or the freezer. You also want to keep your almonds in there. And as you know, Chef doesn't use a lot of almonds because almonds are packed in a carcinogen, and that it was approved by the FDA back in the 80s. So I eat almonds in moderation, and I try to look for organic. So that is our problems that we're having with almonds. Hopefully that gets rectified by our government soon. Then don't forget the oils. Loads and loads of avocado oil. You don't need any other oils in your house. If you want to dress your salads with olive oil for flavor and use it that way, that's great. But if you're going to heat it up in the pan, you want to use avocado oil so it doesn't soak into your digestive tract and cause you health issues later. Get away from all the other oils. And when you're buying processed foods, you guys, you want to look at the ingredients. No palm oil. Palm oil's bad, no bueno. Let's get away from palm oil. That means that Nutella's no good for the children. So make your own. In fact, we'll do an episode on how to teach you how to make a Nutella that just blows Nutella out of the water, and it'll be nutrient rich and healthy for your kids. So that's the nutrients. Also in sugars, I use a lot of monk fruit, which is a great sweetener, and I use some agave syrup, which is an okay sweetener, and I use a lot of maple syrup, which is a good sweetener. So these are some natural, low glycerin sweeteners that I believe that will help you in getting your kids off of the sugar rush. It's really important these days, especially if you look at packaging. We have sugar in almost everything. So that goes for milks too. When you're looking at plant milks, I want to see you buying unsweetened milks. So as you can see, this macadamia nut milk from Costco is unsweetened. This is an almond milk that a friend gave me because I don't usually buy almond milk, but it is a good quality almond milk. This hemp milk is really tasty also. If you're able to find these brands, these are difficult to find. But Costco also makes a nice oat milk. It's Kirkland brand, which is their brand. You get a whole case, it's very reasonably priced. They're like $8 or $9 for a whole case of them. And my all-time favorite plant milk in the entire world is Ripple. If you could find this and you want to transition your kids away from dairy a little bit, this is the one. This tastes like cream, like heavy cream. I love using it in soups and all kinds of great places. So it is hard to find, and it's refrigerated. It's not shelf-stable in a box like some of these other plant milks, but it will get you through. So these are the things that I suggest you keep in your kitchen. And as we graduate through the episodes, I will teach you how to make these milks in your Vitamix machine so that you can save money and bring the nutrient-rich contents up again. It's a little time-consuming, so I don't recommend it for everybody, but I do recommend that if you have the time, making your own plant milks, especially from oats. It's so simple. All right, so I think that covers our Resources 101. So these are some of the items I recommend that you stock up in your kitchen. Obviously, I would hope that you know you should keep onions and garlic around. Again, I get a big bag of garlic. I think it's like $6 at Costco, and big bag. These are sweet onions. There's a whole bunch of different types of onions, but if you like sweet onions year-round, you can't find them in your grocery store, you can find them at Costco. So I stock these on a regular, and those are some of the things you need to keep around. Then as far as turmeric and ginger, I've already mentioned that. This is not something you can buy at Costco, but you can buy ginger at almost any grocery store. And then of course the turmeric root is a little more difficult to find. You might have to go to the health food store or order it online. But definitely keep these in your kitchen. Whether you're going to grate a little bit on top of your foods or in your smoothie, or you're going to do like me and mince it up and make a nutrient base, or add it directly to your savory dishes. So that is a must. I don't know how much you'll use it, but I buy parsley and cilantro every week. And cilantro just because I like the flavor. I don't know that it's super nutrient rich, coriander leaf, but parsley is, and it doesn't have a lot of flavor, so you can add this to your foods and increase your nutrients. So I think that goes well over resources. We will do that again. Maybe we'll call it resources 102. But I'm going to keep doing this until you all get really comfortable with stocking your kitchen with goods. And oh, right, my favorite. Thank you, Kai. So there's a lot of bouillons out there. I don't use a lot of salt. I use bouillon instead because it adds a little flavor and a little bit of nutrients. But you want to be careful because there are a lot of bouillons out there with a lot of junk in them. I get this one from Costco, and I have seen it at the Whole Food store. It's called Better Than Bouillon. I've got this in my nutrient-rich base, and they make this in beef and turkey and chicken. The vegetable is fine though. It works in everything. So definitely stock this because I help you just segue away from adding a bunch of salt to all your foods. If you're making a soup or a stew or a sauce, definitely want to just use a little bit of bouillon instead of having to dump a bunch of salt in. All right. So I think that'll help you with the starter of what you need in the kitchen. And now we're going to get ready for our filming at 420 today on 420. Take care. Thanks for joining.